We have a total of 417 Frisian cattle that have been imported from America, and we have a few brown Swiss cattle, and also those ones have been imported from Switzerland. We have the highest performer at 37 liters daily production, and the lowest performer at 22 liters of milk daily, and on average we receive 25 liters of milk from each cow. GBA Next Generation Farm started in 2018 on a zero-grazing system as it is now. We started with 100 Frisian cattle, and we have gone on breeding and improving. Up to now we have 417 heads of cattle. They are all females. We use sex semen, as we said before. You can imagine between 2018 and 2024 now having 417. I don't know if it looks small number for you or big, but it is small because we sell. We not only sell milk, but we keep on selling. We sell cows at all stages. It depends on your package and on what you're interested in. We sell yearlings, we sell heifers, we sell producing cows, and we also sell off all ex-milkers. Yeah.
Hi guys, AIM Agriculture is back again, and we are in Uganda, Gomba district, and we brought to you a model farm, which is also a training institute. That is Gomba Next Generation Farm Institute. Guys, if you are new to our YouTube channel, guys, hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Let's begin. Watch the story of a successful dairy farm making their own feed to feed 400 animals, and on average each animal producing 25 liters. What an amazing thing. And the professional confirms to us that you just need an acre to sustain 8 animals on zero grazing. Like how? We used to know that it's 1 acre, 1 cow. Let's dig deep, watch the video, and learn and enjoy the success of this great mind. I love you so much.
Aimers, this is our poultry section. As I told you before, our capacity is 11,000, and now you can see it is separated far away from the dairy section. Now you're going to the dairy section. Welcome to GBA Next Generation Farm and Institute. We are a dairy farm, we are a learning center, and welcome to the dairy section. We have 417 cows imported from America, and each of them is a high-performing milker. But now many of them have been bred at home. It means they are well acclimatized with the home environment. So I think they can even perform better than the imported breeds. And that one is evident from the results we receive in the production sites. We have milkers, we have drying of cows, we have calves, we have yearlings and weaners, all in different sections. Every unit has got its own activities and its own routine, and particularly here we are in the production unit. We change the feeding programs depending on the stage of production and so on. We use sexed semen, and for that we are sure that we can receive females, at least 90% chances of receiving a female from each insemination. And because I'm mentioning about insemination, it means we have our own, we use artificial insemination, and we have our own inseminators. I call them organic inseminators because they have been trained, they have been groomed and nurtured here. We can either call them organic inseminators or native inseminators. For you who have other inseminators, you get inseminators from elsewhere, I term those ones as alien inseminators because they came from outside, but these ones are native and organic inseminators. We have a total of 6 crowned inseminators who are our students, and a number of others in training, and a few months they will be crowned inseminators and they will begin their practice. We have got other product other than milk. We sell heifers, in-calf heifers. We have off-laying stocks. We have cow dung. It's a beautiful product. And very many products. We process our milk and sometimes sell raw, but we have a variety of products. We have also got other good products. We have trainees from our institution who are versatile and competent with this knowledge of dairy and many other farming enterprises. For someone who is interested in starting dairy cattle, you need to prepare yourself first. And how do you prepare yourself? Not only in capital, but in planning. You have to draw up a beautiful business plan which will act as a guiding tool for your unit or for your enterprise. And then you need to choose and acquire a good piece of land. Of course, not only good, but enough. Your plan has already given you the number of cows you need to stock, and the number will dictate the amount or the size of land you actually need. You need then to go ahead and set structures. Of course, before you even set structures, you need to decide. The plan has already dictated about which system of grazing you are going to choose. But I urge you to choose the zero grazing system because dairy without zero grazing is not business. You lose a lot when your cows trek and roam for food outside. So when I talk of dairy, I am centering my mind on zero grazing systems where you need to prepare a lot. You need stalls or houses where cows must live. You need machinery that need to prepare your feeds. It may not be well extended or a lot of expensive machineries, but you can even have simple machines, like you can have simple side choppers, hand-driven tractors, and so on. Depending on your size and your capacity, you can start from anywhere. You need structures like the stores. You need milking parlors. If you cannot afford a milking, but you can. Everyone should afford a milking parlor because you are a dairy producer. Where do you milk from if you don't have a milking parlor? A milking parlor doesn't mean a machine. It means any unit you choose for milking, regardless which method you use for milking, but you need to have a place where animals have to go for milking. Taking animals to the milking unit alone is enough stimulation for the cows to begin producing milk. We call it milk let down. So you need to prepare animals, you need to synchronize animals to the milking parlor because they have to redden themselves and the systems before they go for milking. For a dairy enterprise to prosper, you need to know about a few things. Choosing the right breed is fundamental, and the right breeds are in GBA Next Generation Farm and Institute. We have the best breed. Actually, in 2020, we won the Best Farmers Award in Uganda. It did not come by it did not come for granted, but we worked for it from the activities we do. You need to plan for feeding. And when you plan for feeding, you have to know what your cows need. For example, our cows eat silage as the main feed. We give maize bran as an additive. We give hay, but our hay is milled to increase digestibility and feed intake. and we all grow these things from our farm. It is expensive to stock or buy feeds for cattle. You may not manage. Sometimes the profit and the input, the profit and cost don't tally at all if you decide to buy feeds, because a cow eats about $3 a day. And imagine feeding a cow for 1.5 years before it conceives, and then feeding it for another 9 months when it is pregnant. Then you can have a product. You feed your cow for over 3 years, but you don't have a product. Imagine buying food for all that time. You will crash along the way. So you need to plan ahead of time. You can even begin by having your pasture fields before you even start the farm. You can choose different pastures. We are using Napier grass and the alfalfa on top of Rhodes grass or Croix Guyana. Those pastures are easy to propagate. They are highly productive and grow very fast. The Napier grass in a variety of Kapchong 1, it has 18% protein. That's a great nutrient content for our dairy cattle, and we chose to do that. It stays for long in the fields, so you can propagate it and keep with it for over 10 years, feeding on the same plant you planted back then. Success in dairy production doesn't come simply. There are a lot of details which are invisible to some people, but visible to students and scholars who have come from GBA Next Generation Farm Institute, because they are trained. These details have been given to them and we continue to give to them. We have a daily routine of programs. Our day starts at 6 a.m. when we light on. Also watch the animals, ascertain their conditions, and so on. Then we feed around that time. We also begin milking at 6 a.m. and by 8 we are done milking. Then we continue with other activities along the day. There are some activities that are not so much routinely done, like simple activities like deworming, castration, ear tagging, and so on. Some activities come along the calendar year or along a month calendar, but they are not routine daily activities. But doing activities mainly is feeding, milking, cleaning, and so on. Cleaning is done twice a day. So we make sure the cow stalls are clean enough. We make sure everywhere is clean, and we take records of every single bit of an activity we do. So we are such smart, but we are not yet there again. We are not yet there because we think there is a lot of more improvement we can do. So we keep on improving time and again, but so far so good. We are breaking even already. As I told you, we have 25 average liters of milk, so not bad. And we keep improving our breeds and so on. Then we want to throw more light on feeding. This cow is like any other animal. It needs all nutrients in their right proportions. We need proteins, we need carbohydrates, we need vitamins, we need minerals, and so on. And you could ask yourself, we feed on silage. Does it give us every nutrient we want? Of course not, and we don't only feed on silage. We supplement silage with hay. Hay is mostly given to the production stock because hay is roughage mainly, and it is dry food. And milking animals love to eat dry food. And when they eat dry food, they are agitated to drink water. And that water is converted into milk. So we need to encourage our cows to drink as much water as possible, and we can only achieve that by giving them enough hay or enough dry food. On top of the silage, which is moist, but we have also to give dry food. The hay is also given, before we go that, hay is given in milled form. We mill hay so that to increase first the palatability and next the digestibility. Milling it is like one way of pre-digesting it. The cow doesn't spend a lot of energy in chewing, and that energy saved is converted into production. That's how we achieve. And there are a lot of things we give, but we keep changing from stage of one cow to another. Like in young flock, the calves, we cannot give silage. The calf's stomach is not yet developed enough to digest the silage because it is hard. We'll give them maize bran and dairy meal on top of hay. And hay is also milled. We believe that those products can be digested by the cow's stomach. And when the cow has grown enough, at about 6 months of age, we can begin to give silage, and at that stage, the cow's stomach has developed enough to handle and digest hard materials like silage. Silage has got some microbes and some lactic acid, which is dangerous to the cow's stomach and the gut, of course. And on top of that, it is not of economic sense to feed a highly dear feed or an expensive feed to a cow that is not producing, because we give food, we need a product, but a calf is not yet giving us any product. So we decide to choose a cheaper but convenient option and that's why we chose the hay and other feeds to give to the calves. Dairy production has pillars where in case you don't fulfill a given pillar, you may not have it all. And these pillars work synergetically. If you miss one and have the rest, you may not achieve. So one of the pillars is breed. The other one is, of course, records, and the other one is feeding. Those pillars are fundamental in dairy production. For example, breed. If you choose a wrong breed, you feed well, make proper records, you won't have results because you are feeding well, but you are feeding a wrong product. You are feeding a wrong candidate on good food. You may have a correct candidate, but you give them wrong food, so you won't have the products. You may have the right candidate and the right food, but you go wrong somewhere in the records, so you cannot follow up. Records are important, especially in breeding. When you have proper records, you know that cow so-and-so is a daughter of so-and-so. So when you're going to breed it, when you're going to serve it, you must make sure you don't serve it with its dad, because you are going to inbreed. So that's one of the importances of breeding, but it also helps you. It's like a benchmark of performance. You know, my cows produced 20 liters yesterday, and today I expect either 20 or above. So if you get a slightly lower quantity, it means you have to go back and check your books and check your activities. You should have gone wrong somewhere. So it gives you time to correct your mistakes as early as possible. And that one is all achieved by making proper records. Many people neglect the power of records, but records are very, very important. And those small things that people neglect, here we stress them a lot. We train them, our scholars, and they come out here knowing they are really fundamental activities and routines to do. The other pillar is health and disease management. There are many diseases that affect our cows. We have viral diseases, we have protozoal diseases, we have bacterial diseases, and nutritional diseases. But The good news is these diseases are manageable, and the best management practice is prevention. When you prevent, you hit two birds. Actually, you hit very many birds, not only two, with one stone. Because first of all, you avoid the expenses of having to treat the disease. You avoid the costs of losing animals. You avoid, or you save the products that would have been lost. You know, when disease comes, you lose quantity and quality. So you avoid all that by preventive. However, preventive is continuous. It is not a one-do thing, but it is a continuous project which you need to be doing daily. We prevent by vaccination, we prevent by good hygiene, we prevent by good nutrition, and very many other ways. I want to talk about vaccination a little bit broader. Normally, we commonly vaccinate against viral diseases like FMD, like that's the viral disease we vaccinate against for now. We vaccinate against East Coast fever. In Uganda, we have not been having the vaccine, but now we have it. So we also vaccinate against East Coast fever. We vaccinate against lumpy skin disease. We will vaccinate against brucellosis. We vaccinate against catarrh fever and very many other diseases. And all our cows are vaccinated against all those diseases. That's one preventive measure. We are sure we don't have problems in nutritional diseases, because we make sure our animals get the best and the right quantities of feeds. We give much emphasis on zoonotic diseases, and we make sure we vaccinate against them, like the brucellosis. That one, we make sure our cows are free and have immunity against brucellosis, because if we get brucellosis, we lose a lot of things. Farmers alone or the workers in the farm can contract the disease. They can spread it to, animals can spread the disease to other animals. And above all, in case you want to sell, because it's not a disease, you'll have difficulties if you don't have vaccination cards. So it is fundamental that you ensure you vaccinate against all diseases. Then the other fundamental parameter is watering. We make sure water is fresh, clean, and adequately provided. Let the animal drink the water anytime it feels like, because we are dairy producers and we cannot have milk if we don't have water. And again, encourage the animals to drink a lot of water by manipulating their food. Give them salt, mineral salts. They will be agitated to drink. Give them dry food. They will be agitated to drink. And don't give cows water which you cannot drink. Let's talk about hygiene. Hygiene is a fundamental tool. It is a fundamental pillar in every aspect of livestock production. Be it cattle, be it goats, be it all animals love a clean environment. So we should provide that environment. This is like a factory, so we need to make sure that we give everything the cow needs. We don't give our cow any chance to drop production. So we have to ensure proper hygiene at all costs, and we have to clean every single day. For us, we clean twice a day. When we are sure that our animals are clean and the environment is clean, then we can look for other parameters. But having done proper hygiene, it is a preventive measure, prevent disease, because when you don't clean, you attract a lot of bacteria and so on, and those bacteria cause disease. The water should be so much hygienic. The food alone should be hygienic. You can check, we have a working area where we work from, and also a feeding area, just to make sure that we don't step in the cow's plate. We call it the plate. You don't step, this is the cow's plate, and cows have to eat from here. It is different from this area where I work from, and we make sure it is clean always. When it gets dirty, we have to wash it, because even at home you wash your plates. So that's why we have to make sure that the cow's plate or the feeder or the feeding trough is clean. Then you can check, cows are grazers. They eat from below the ground. They are not like other animals like the goats and so on. You can see they bend to eat. That's why their feeder is down, not raised. If they are to be goats, they could be, the feeder could be raised a little bit, but cows are known to be grazers. You can see as they eat, they roll their tongue over the food and they and pick it. That's a feature of grazers. So we need to give them a chance to exercise their natural behavior, and it is one way of maintaining welfare for animals. So when we allow animals exercise their natural behavior, we are trying to ensure welfare. All that is in the name of maximizing production. If we don't maximize production, we shall not realize profits. The animal house or the structure is also a fundamental aspect of production. You can check our cows have only one bar on top of them. We don't have a lot of structures or a lot of bars, just to give animals comfort, to give animals ease while feeding. And that one, you can check, it is raised at about a meter. You raise according to the size of animals. So for us, we knew we were stocking Frisian, and we know the size of Frisian cattle. So we raise it to about a meter, so that first animals cannot escape. But again, it should not be too low, because if it is too low, it will injure the animal's hump. And definitely we shall have diseases and inflammations there. So a structure is also a good one, but you determine the structure depending on the type of animals and the number. The cows have got a feeding area, this one here, where they feed and dunk from. Then they also have a resting area. The resting area is conditioned in such a way that it is a bit soft and more comfortable for animals to sleep. It is evident that every animal here is sleeping. I don't know if you can look at this animal, this cow. It is sleeping because here it is comfortable than here. And all animals here are here, they have come to eat. So this one is a feeding area and playing area. Every animal that wants to play comes and plays around. And also if they want to eat, they come and eat from this feeding area. We have got a number of different structure designs, but whatever you do, make sure that you give animals comfort, and make sure you also construct a structure you can manage. It should be affordable in terms of construction, but it should provide the animals with the required conditions. You can construct it from timber, you can construct it from concrete, sand and brick. You can make it from metal. So ours is a mixture of timber, metal and the concrete. The floor can either be earthen or concrete. But whatever floor you choose to use, make sure it is clean. Make sure it is comfortable for the animals. So if you want to learn more about dairy, poultry, piggery, structural designs and so on, all those things are packaged and provided by our institute, GBA Next Generation Farm Institute. Please come, pay us a visit, join us, we shall train you and you become self-contained.
Greetings, Dr.
Okay, greetings to you.
This is another section.
Yeah,
and
the dairy section.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes.
You say how many breeds do you have so far?
We have two breeds, the brown Swiss and the Holstein Frisian.
Yep.
Yes, we imported it from Switzerland and America.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Now, why did you opt for the brown Swiss?
The brown Swiss, actually, there are a few breeds of brown Swiss.
Yep.
But our main cow is the Frisian.
The Frisian.
We opted for the Frisian because of its fast adaptability, the productivity, and the quality of milk is a bit good. Of course, not compared to other breeds like the Guernsey, but the Guernsey has got very low quantities. But two reasons: the productivity and the adaptability. The Frisians can survive well here, and they have good quantities of milk, of course, if well managed. Yeah.
What is the biggest challenge that you've encountered so far in dairy?
The biggest challenge we encountered in dairy was in 2019, actually from 2018 and 2019, where we did not have competent practitioners. We went ahead to go up to Kenya and imported labor. We got a Kenyan veterinary doctor who was here for 2 years, and he did us great service. And from there, we had a mind. We just thought that every farmer out there could be facing the same problem. So we made sure we get the knowledge from this Kenyan doctor, and then we can impart this knowledge into our young farmers, our young vets here. And that is one of the driving factors, or one of the drivers for starting an institution.
Okay.
And now it is no longer a challenge. The Kenyan is not here, and everything is wonderful because he trained many of them, and we have trained a lot more others. So we have our own workers. We have our organic workers.
Okay.
So it's no longer a challenge.
Now, talking about 400 milkers, 400 is not a small number.
Yeah.
And you're doing your own production. I've seen you're planting your own corn.
Yes.
How many acres does one need to produce feed enough to sustain such animals? Number of animals.
How many acres does one need to sustain such a number of animals? Let's analyze how much land you need to sustain one cow.
Okay.
Then if we know one cow, we can know as much number of cows.
One cow is 1 acre?
No, one cow, 1 acre. 1 acre can accommodate between 6 to 10 cows, depending on the environment, of course, and the productivity of the soil. But on average, we can say 1 acre can accommodate or can manage to feed and sustain life of 8 cows. Feed.
So this notion of 1 cow, 1 acre.
That one is old-fashioned. Gone are the days when we used to have 1 cow for 1 acre. No, it is 1 acre for 8 cows. We can build a structure of 8 cows in that 1 acre and grow food on that very 1 acre. And it can be enough
For those animals.
We prepare our food and preserve it in form of silage and hay, and that 1 acre can sustain 8 cows. So it means of course we have 417 cows, as I said before, and we have 402 acres of land. But 70% of the food we produce, especially silage, we sell because we cannot use it all. Actually, we are feeding over 1,000 cows
With that
acreage, and it is not all used, of course. There are other pieces of land that have been left to bush and recover. But if we use it all, we can have over 1,500 cows on that 400 acres of land. Yes, that's the beauty of zero grazing. That's the beauty of stalled animal grazing. Yes.
So you mean if one wanted to buy milkers, one would get the milkers?
Yeah. One will get the milkers if they want them to buy them.
At what age? You said all ages.
We sell animals at all ages. It depends on what you want and your bargaining power. We sell animals at all ages. But I urge farmers outside there, I urge aimers out there to buy animals at heifer stages or in calves, first in calves. They are the best cows you can have. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Okay.
I'm sure if you have more questions and you would want to learn more, you would come to the institute.
Yeah, we have an institute.
That is GBA
Next Generation Farm Institute.
Institute.
Yes.
Come, learn by yourself, be equipped with knowledge on farming, practical, and then just implement it.
Yeah.
And Dr. I can't wait to come and see and interview another student who would have passed through this institute.
Thank
It
you.
was a great pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you too.
Show us around, Dr. Thank you.
We have cow barns, we have calf pens, we have heifer stalls, and so on. Here we have cow barns, and we have already seen these are makers, and these ones are dryers. We have a calf pen, which is nearest to the milking parlor. So we make sure that immediately after milking, milk is taken to the cows and taken while still warm. And up there we have the yearlings and the winner's stock just near the calf pen. So from the calf pen, we transfer the winners to the yearlings and the winner's pen. Then we have the store, which keeps our food, especially the concentrates and dry foods. We keep them in the store. We can pick from there a daily measurement, which we give to our animals. Welcome to cow barn B, and in this store we have drying of cows or ex-milkers. They are no longer milking, and we are waiting to steam them up and we can serve them again. I mean, the others are pregnant, are waiting to deliver, and the others are empty. Some of them are colors. We are culling them off. They are 87 inside here. Yeah, this is our milking color, and you can check it has a resting yard and a milking area, and far beyond it has the cooling and storage unit. So animals come rest here, they are milked here, then the milk is stored in the next room where there are coolers and tanks of milk. We use a machine, of course. It is operated by a suction pressure which pulls substances towards itself. Yeah, that's the machine. And here is a calf pen. And here is a calf pen where we rear or where we raise calves from the first day up 6 months. It has got units. It has a unit where we keep the newly or immediately born calves of less than 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, we transfer them to this store. Then after 3 months, we also transfer them to another unit, which we shall see. The very young calves are kept independently, one after another. We don't mix them, and we manage them easily when they are independent. The very young calves of less than 3 months are kept alone, one cow, one stall, or one cow, one unit. And as they grow, 3 months and above, we can combine them. You can check now, we have 4 in each unit, others 3 and others 5. At this stage, management is not as intense as in the other very young stage. So here it is okay even if we mix them together. And we group them according to sizes. Not age, but only size. Equal sizes are kept together so that the competition cannot be skewed to one side. So this one has got a leg injury, and that's why it is in its own stall. I think you can see the injury. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible. And it's a very good cow, by the way.
Yeah.
Costly.
These are yearlings. Those animals that have not yet made the year, and winners, animals that have just been weaned. From one side we have yearlings and winners, and from other side we have grown-up animals that have reached a year but have not yet reached service weight. So we keep them here until they have reached weight for service, and once we serve them and we are sure they have conceived, we transfer them to the other units which you have already seen.